Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of ECM Community Heroes as part of the communication series Power of Community. With Community Heroes, we meet some of the people that shape and push forward the community of European cities marketing, a community of open, sharing, learning, meeting, and growing together. The series is in association with Group NAO, which is also where I'm from. My name is Sine Jongerstel, and today I will be speaking to Claire Mertens, Destination Marketing Manager with Visit Antwerp and Chair of the ECM Trend Room. Claire, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Sine.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
So could you start by introducing us to this ECM Trend Room? What's it all about?
Yeah, the ECM Trend Room is quite new. We have the ambition to bring ECM and all the members to the very forefront of trends, to really look ahead, not for the next 2, 3, 4 years, but what are the challenges for the next 10 to 20 years, and also try to have a broad perspective, look at the visitor economy as a whole, as cities. So we also address themes like urban planning, for instance, because shaping the city is also a very important aspect of tourism. We do want to be an ambassador for trends in the whole ECM community. So I think it's one of our missions or ambitions to cross-collaborate with as many people and knowledge groups as possible.
So how exactly, how do you work with this? Like, how do you find the trends that you want to work with and that you want to focus on?
Yeah, of course we are. The members of the Trend Room are not experts on trends. So we believe it's very important to connect with the right people. So having a network of experts, that's one of the first things that we addressed in the knowledge group. So for instance, we had recently we had 2 trend talks about the impact of COVID in a longer term and in a broad perspective. So what is the impact of COVID, for instance, on urban planning or the economy? And we try to look for experts in that domain. So actually, the Trend Room needs to be very skilled in networking.
Right.
So trying to find the right experts and the right input is one of the most important aspects of the Trend Room.
And it seems the experts also are, you know, they're not necessarily within tourism. They're experts in
definitely not. No.
Yeah.
We for the last Trend Talk, we worked with someone who is an economist at the University of Barcelona. He's actually a Belgian, but he works in Spain. His name is Jan Eekhout, and he has nothing to do with tourism, but really with economy in a broad perspective. For instance, we also had an urban planner, Marianne Lefebvre, who is really into trend watching and urban planning. So we try to have a broad network, and not only within tourism.
That's great. And so what's in store for 2022? Will it be more trend talks, and what can we expect?
Yeah, we have a meeting this afternoon with the Trend Room to make our action plan for next year. But I can already say that cross collaboration is high on the agenda. So we really want to reach out to other knowledge groups to work with the topic of trends within their domain. We are going to evaluate the trend talks, but I think most of us are really excited about what that was the last few weeks. So I think we're gonna make a new trend or gonna develop new trend talks next year. And of course, we are trying to extend our network. That's, I think, one of the ambitions for next year as well.
So, and yeah, I think that's because it's the Trend Room is also a knowledge group, and it works like the other knowledge group. So you have members within the Trend Room. How does that work? Can anyone become a member, or how do you approach that?
We we have a limited number of members. We limit it to 8 because we really want to be really agile and really quick and want to. It's not about sharing knowledge within the trend room, but it's about collecting knowledge to share with all the members. So the people in the trend room are also the people that are reaching out, for instance, to those experts. So at the moment, our trend room is full, but maybe at a certain time, members will leave the trend room, and then we need to look for new members that are interested to work, because it's really working in the trend room to deliver and to realize things.
And so how can members get involved? Like if you have some ECM members that maybe also have spotted a trend that they find this is something we need to start thinking about or reflecting on, can they get in touch with you, or how does it work?
Definitely. We really like to work on demand because what we also reached out in our newsletter, for instance, about what are topics or challenges that you see in your day-to-day work or in your domain that could be interesting to dive in, and what's ahead or what are the trends in that domain. So if people or members have questions, challenges that they face, or things that they pick up, please let us know, because we really, really want to work on demand of what is necessary and needed by the members.
And so that's a good encouragement to sort of give out or hand out. And so, Claire, what's on your sort of top list of future trends that you're really sort of excited to dive into? What's on that list?
I have two, actually. One of my favorite topics is about the development and how cities are developing, because a city, I think the phrase for New York, a city that never sleeps, it can relate to every city, because a city is always changing. And that means that your product or your destination is always evolving. And as a DMO, you need to address that. But sometimes things are evolving much quicker than you can imagine, and then you can follow. So I think it's really interesting to look ahead and see what is up with cities in the next 10 to 20 years, so that you can make sure that you're on time to address challenges on that domain. So that's one of my main topics. And the other one is about consumers, and not only tourists, because everybody that is using your city can be defined as a consumer of your city. And what are they expecting? How are they using the city? And how can we not only service them, but how can we anticipate on their demands or their expectations? So also there, a future-proof approach on consumers. I think that's also very interesting.
Two very big questions, which I'm sure a lot of the members are also quite interested in. And within those, there are multiple other questions that we could talk about for a long time. All right, so we don't have a long time, but I wanted to finish with the question that I ask all our community heroes, and that is, we call this series the power of community, which is also very characteristic of how ECM works. So what do you understand by the power of community within ECM European Cities Marketing?
Yeah, I think it's like a community needs to be a sort of safe spot where you can exchange ideas without limits, or without being limited. And I think it's very nice to be challenged also by your community, that are people that are trying to get the best out of you, that are there for contact, that are open, that are willing to think with you and to help each other. I think that's the real power of community.
Thank you so much, Claire. That was brilliant. And thank you for sharing the trend room with everyone, and also be sharing it in the coming year.
To get the question. So thank you, Sinje.
All right. Have a great day, Claire.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.